Hi, and welcome back to Rick's Room. Today, a friend of mine, I've known this man for years now and followed his work. It's Marvin Bantugan. Marvin is CTO with Zaventus. Marvin, thanks for being with us.
Oh, awesome. Thank you for having me here, Rick. It's always great to catch up with you.
And it's been too long. I think, oh man, the last time I saw you was at a technology conference 4 years ago. It was too long. Yeah,
Yeah. I think it was
yeah.
at the NBA conference in Las Vegas. We got a
Las
chance to
Vegas.
catch up in the hallway. That was
That's
awesome.
right. That's right. Well, that's what this show is all about, Marvin. We pretend we've been working a show all day. We sit down at the end of the day and finally get to catch up. So tell me, what have you been working on?
Well, you know that I've been working on just a myriad of things. There's always a bunch of balls up in the air. In one of the things that I've really been focused on within the past couple weeks, and you know I've been working in blockchain for quite a while, but at the end of June, the current administration made an announcement where they told the different GSAs, the different governmental agencies, that they want them to consider being able to accept cryptocurrency as an asset in mortgage originations, in giving out mortgages. So, and you can imagine that if they end up doing something like that, that would be a complete turnaround in cryptocurrency, and you're already starting to see it in the marketplace. If you think back to 2022, 2023, in the crypto crash, there are a lot of crypto backed mortgage companies that went under, and now there's a renewed interest in them. I've been speaking with quite a few people in the blockchain community and in the mortgage community, and things are starting to take off again. It's unbelievably exciting, and I'm sure that in the conferences that people are going to, they're starting to see a renewed interest in fintech companies and in cryptocurrency companies. So that's one of the things that unbelievably exciting. It's not official yet, but they've been asked to take that under consideration. And given the administration, it's probably going to happen. So hold on to your seats, guys. Cryptocurrency is back.
Oh yeah, Trump is pushing for this hard. I have no doubt that we're going to see more of it. But Marvin, it makes you look like the Oracle of Delphi because you've been talking about this. You've been talking about blockchain and mortgage for years now, and I've been on some of your calls. So, are people ready for this? I mean, your audience are obviously ready, right? But what about the rest of the
Mhm.
industry?
I think the rest of the industry is, they're not fully ready yet, but there have been so many activities behind the scenes. In a lot of the large banking organizations have continued to work on blockchain and tokenization in the background. They haven't really stopped their efforts. So I think beneath the surface, there's a lot of activity. And as this continues, a lot of that is going to come to the fore. I've been working on tokenization projects for the past couple of years. A lot of stuff that I can't speak about in full detail yet, but as you can imagine, there are a bunch of activities. There has been a lot of activity in terms of people moving around within the fintech companies. There have been some announcements being made, in people are getting ready. So I think there's going to be a burst of activity before the new year, before this year's end.
I love it, Marvin. Now, if you were sitting down with a lender that's got to get ready for this,
Mhm.
what are some of the considerations? And I know you could talk to me for days about this, but what are the top
Right.
considerations they need to be thinking about, right?
The top considerations is just keep abreast of what's going on within the industry. In The bad thing about this type of resurgence is there's always going to be the negative aspect to it, and I'm sure people that have been paying attention. I'm not sure if you heard about it, Rick, but within the past month or so, there was controversy around Robinhood offering stock
Yeah.
tokens on OpenAI, and then OpenAI even came online, made an announcement where they disavowed this activity. So just be aware of what's going on. Don't get too caught up in all of the hubbub that's going on. but be ready to move and then take a look at your technology, take a look at your infrastructure, and see where you can pull that in. In the last real focus on blockchain, it was the big thing. Now it's AI is the big thing, but blockchain has always been there. And I think marrying those two, that's what a lot of people are talking about, marrying blockchain, AI, and Web3. That is the real ticket. If you're ready to do that, you're set.
Yeah. Now, when you and I started in this industry, Marvin, when somebody said something like that, we were looking at a 10-year, you know, timeline to get that. Not anymore.
Right.
Now AI is changing in weeks or sometimes days. So
Right.
so how it's a little scary to me. Should lenders be worried that this is going to happen much faster than they think?
They shouldn't be worried that it's happening much faster than they think, because it is already happening much faster than they think. In one of the things that I found, just what the work that I've been doing is, I'm using the AI example. Last year, I worked on an AI project where we were able to take the a client's database, their knowledge base, and hook it up to an AI agent. Now it would be conversational AI. I've seen a couple examples, and I've worked on a couple proof of concepts where the conversational AI well passes the Turing test. That's no longer one of the hurdles, because it's already there. I've spoken with a couple AI agents where I thought, damn, that's a real person on the other end.
Oh man, yeah, that stuff's happening fast. But for chief compliance officers, that's the kind of thing that keeps them up all night. Will blockchain help us in that area? Will it help us stay compliant or at least monitor compliance more easily?
Yes, yes, I absolutely think so, because blockchain married with AI can serve as a compliance AI agent, and there are already a couple companies that are going down this path in where they use AI to validate information. And we had a couple of companies that are actually doing that already last year, and now they're further along the path. So AI as a compliance agent utilizing blockchain, because blockchain is that immutable database. It's definitely something that lends itself to the mortgage industry. And I think there are quite a few people that are already thinking about that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know anybody who's been thinking about this longer than you have, Marvin. So, is this part of the work you do with Zaventus? Tell me a little bit about what that company does and what you're doing there.
Well, Zaventus is an international staffing and co-sourcing and consulting company. So we have people in over 20 countries across the globe, and we've been working on a variety of AI and compliance and blockchain projects for the healthcare industry, as well as financial services and other industries as well. So in terms of being able to leverage this type of technology, we're definitely able to do that. I'd say we're at the forefront and have done several implementations and proof of concept. So Zaventus, I think, is well placed to take advantage of this.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Now, I normally like to keep these conversations upbeat and positive, but I can't help but ask you about risks for lenders that don't take this seriously and don't move in. A lot of lenders in our industry have fallen prey to the shiny object syndrome. They've
Yep.
invested in things
Yep.
that didn't really work out. They're a little gun shy. We're still not seeing lending coming back to the point where they have extra money to spend on stuff. So, what's the risk if they don't take this seriously now?
The risk, if they don't take this seriously now, is when the boom comes, you're not going to be prepared to take advantage of it. I'm not spending $1 million on a blockchain budget now. Maybe you're not doing anything with your infrastructure or organization that would preclude being able to do something quickly.
And does that hold true equally for healthcare and the other places that you're working?
One of the things that I learned is healthcare is has a lot of similarities to the mortgage in that they're not on the leading edge of technology. They're often a laggard. So there's a bunch of opportunity there to utilize this technology, but they're getting more and more open. So that in terms of technology implementation for blockchain and AI and Web3, there's a bunch of opportunity within healthcare. And that's where actually Zaventus has been growing by leaps and bounds. So we see the
Well,
opportunity there and we've been able to take advantage of it.
and that just gives me a reason to have you back on the show, Marvin, because I want to find out more about that as well next time. We've been talking to Marvin Bantugan. He is the CTO of Zaventus. Marvin, thanks for being with me.
Oh, thank you for having me, Rick. It's always great speaking to you.